Okay, so in my videos what I do, I'm obviously not going to say this because there's too much talking, but I hold the lure in front of the camera, or the camera, so that the viewer can see what it is I'm using, and give them about 4 seconds. And then sometimes when I'm really lucky, I get a hookup on the first cast, and it's just like, oh, that's why they think I'm so skilled at this. They don't realize all the ones I don't say, but okay. What you want to do is have about 2 to 3 feet of line outside the first guide, so that you can get your pendulum effect of what we call whipping the lure out. Okay, so you want to turn the reel so that you can easily get it with the tip of your finger, and you want to hold this kind of light, because the lighter you hold it, the more distance you're going to get on the cast. And don't try and put a bunch of muscle into it. It's all technique. So basically what you're going to do, make sure you're clear behind you, that you're not going to snag your friend or somebody, you know. Make sure you're clear, kind of know where the area you're going to throw. And you pretty much cock to about 2 o'clock and release about 10 o'clock. Okay, so I'm going to do that slowly, and keep your eye on the lure, okay? Here we go. Okay, as soon as it's ready to touch the water, I'm already starting to crank the lure back, and I'm trying to keep it moving on the surface like a little bait fish that's being chased by something. Even though I don't see anything chasing it, I want it to act like it is. Because there's a lot of things that are out there that we don't see, and they see that kind of action and they go, yum. And they'll hit it faster than you can react. But if you're doing the right action, you may get the hookup. Or you'll get a follow or a strike or something. Can't beat that. Okay, so I'm gonna do it a couple more times. One of the things I try and do is, like, whatever piece of ocean I'm working with, I try and cut it up into pieces of a pie. And I work back and forth a couple of times. If there's nothing happening, I move on to the next spot. So we can do that. We can just go back and forth through here. We don't all have to stick together. But if you do get stuck on the bottom, give me a call and I'll come and help you and put on a new lure for you. Okay. So again, a lot of times beginners forget to open the bail spring. So make sure you got your line, open the bail spring, or sometimes they open the bail spring before they have their finger on, and then the line or the lure just drops below. I still do that myself, so if it happens to you, don't feel bad. Okay, 2 o'clock, clear, 10 o'clock. I did a little bit faster whip that time to get a little bit more distance. So the speed of the whip will give you more distance, but you don't need to put a lot of muscle into it. And then keep your eye on the lure at all times, and if you can't see it, then make it go faster so you can start to see a splash on the water. But that's the kind of action you want to get, is a pretty wild, pretty aggressive retrieve to get the attention of the fish. Sometimes you'll have a fish that follows and you'll run out of water. And if that happens, and you're in a spot like this where it's straight. Are you guys all good at the edge?
Yeah.
Keep your legs a little bit bent. If a gust of wind tries to push you or something, you can sort of compensate a little bit. But if a fish follows to the edge of the water, keep the lure moving around back and forth, because they love that. That's what they're used to, and that's where I get a lot of my hookups. If you go to my YouTube videos, you'll see some of that kind of action. Okay, one more. Okay, bail spring's open. I got my line on there. I'm gonna cast over to that spot. So, again, 230 on this one. Released about 10. As soon as that lure, before it hit the water, I'm starting to reel back. Can you guys all see the lure?
Yeah.
Good eyes.